So yeah, we're going to have a downtick in the demand for rental. That's just
Downtick.
absolutely.
There are usually, TK, 2,600 condos available for rent at this time of year in the Toronto area.
Okay.
And today there are over 8,000 units.
Mm,
And the average rents are down only 5%.
okay.
So I
Now,
thought that was kind of interesting.
good. So, I mean, we've been talking about immigration. So now obviously the new foreign student visas are going to be limited. The schools have now got limitations on them. The provinces are getting involved. So they're all making sure that the federal government doesn't overload us. So yeah, we're going to have a downtick in the demand for rental. That's just
Downtick.
absolutely
A
100%.
downtick.
And the demand. Now on the supply side, we're constantly looking at bringing on new units. There's really a lot of units that are coming on new right now that they can't afford to sell them because they're not going to get the prices that they need to get.
So
There's a
hold
lot of
on.
people out there who aren't able to sell because the condo market's having some issues. And so they're listing them for sale and for lease. They don't really want to list them for lease. So there's also going to be an increase into the supply side as well, too. Not doesn't mean that they're going to be renting, but that there is going to be more for lease listings and there'll be less of a demand. So maybe that's why the rental market isn't collapsing, right? With those numbers, they're painting a picture like, oh my gosh, rents are about to go down. Gosh, but
Oh, I don't, I think, I mean, shouldn't they be going down
they should be
based
going
on that?
down. Yeah, but not to the point where it's like there's uh 8,000 people who are all desperately trying to rent out their apartments and will do anything for it. Not out there.
But I wish somebody would really give us a real picture of how many of these units are, units that people would want to buy, right?
Not the percentage of those small, tiny little units is very small.
You
Those
think it's
micro units,
small,
it's small. Overall, the amount of those tiny
but
units that
that's all they
exist is
build.
small.
Like I'm
No,
looking at plans where people show, okay, if I 900 square feet is currently considered a big two bedroom, okay, in
yeah,
downtown Toronto.
yeah,
900 square feet is a big 900 square feet is probably a three bedroom in some buildings if it's on a
100%.
corner, right?
Yeah, 100%.
TK, 900 square feet is very
It's
small.
an old one bedroom. Yeah,
It's very small.
yeah.
Old one bedroom, holy cow. Like, I don't know what my boobie's apartment size was. It was big. It was like three
Okay.
bedrooms, had a hallway, and had,
Yeah.
a big dining room and a family room and a kitchen and a balcony. It had everything. I don't know how big it was though, but it feels like it was probably like 15, 1,600 square feet, right? And even that, like I've been on a tour and going to see different size units, right? I'm telling you, like even 1,500 square feet is not gigantic. 2,000 square feet, like starts to feel kind of,
Bottom
spacey.
bottom bottom line is to end the show here on this final thought. Okay. We've talked about it before. The people who right now who are living in the large units are living in too large of a unit. There's people who are baby boomers living in houses or big apartments or whatever it is that need to house families. And that eventually the stock will change. I don't believe that we're in a situation where we've built the wrong product. I think we have just enough of the right product and that there will be obviously more condos coming online, more condo units coming online in Toronto from here on out. We're not going to get housing. There's going to be more condos outside of the GTA as well too, but not that much. The demand's not that high. They'll find places to build more houses as you get further and further away from Toronto. But as the aging population gets older and the cost of those retirement homes and everything else like that becomes more and more inaccessible to most, they will be moving into those condo units. And they're going to say, that, like, it's always like this adjustment, right? This reality check where they're like, oh, I want a 1,200 square foot unit. Oh, well, it's this much money. Oh, you want to find just 1,000. Okay, fine, just 800. Grandma's going to be living in a 4, 5, 600
Yeah.
square foot unit because that's
Yeah.
what she would have been living in at the nursing home because that's what she can afford on her budget in order to be able to have care coming in to take care of her. And that's how the shift will happen. And the families will go into the housing and that will be in a very flat period of growth. We're not going to have the growth we experienced over the last 20 years ain't happening again. It's not a chance that it's going to happen again because the people who drove that growth are the people who are going to be leaving the market now, right?
Mhm.
That generation, they're the ones who bid up those prices over the last 20 years and funding their kids right now to do the same thing. So that will all change hands, and we'll get will be a much more efficient version of Canada 20 years from now.
Oh,
So the
good.
housing per household, people per household will increase, and that will have a lot more utilized space. And so
People
that way
per
we won't
household.
need to, because we can't solve this housing crisis by building.
No, people per household will increase, but size per space they live in will decrease, I would
Yes.
imagine, right?
Square footage per person will decrease. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's just inefficient right now. So like those 3 people living in the 600 square foot unit doesn't make sense, but that
Yeah.
one person living in the 2000 doesn't make sense. When they switch, all of a sudden we're going to say, oh, wow, that makes a lot more sense. And that the efficiency is going to increase through the roof once the properties do change hands. That's what happens.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.